Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Three Dads and a Console with the Consumption. We know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in video game news that you need to know about, so we are here to do it for you. And remember that this show is kid-friendly, so no earmuffs are needed. Now on with the show. I'm one of your hosts, Wabba plays alongside the also sick Court.
Sick is an understatement.
He is infirmed.
He's not feeling well.
What let's share our diseases. What disease?
All I know is I don't have COVID. I think I've just, from the last couple months of doing a lot of family things, from what's going on in my house, I'm just run down and I'm tired. But I've been playing a poop ton of NHL, like
There we go.
a poop ton of NHL, because the game's good and the creators that think it's not, they're trash.
Speaking about poop tons, we have
Wow, that was a transition.
Wow, that was a.
Well, it was
a
either that or
transition.
trash, right?
I was
That was either
I
that or
was
trash.
expecting like, oh, and speaking of like North Shore trash, his Pez.
Hold on. You could be Oscar the Grouch. You are our Oscar the Grouch.
I'll take
except
it.
you're orange.
Except I'm orange.
Oh, what's up, Pez?
You know,
what disease do you have?
by God, I've been poisoned by my constituents. I got a taste of the consumption.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know. I had the fever, the chills, no flu, no COVID, no pneumonia. But was pretty much on 102.9 fevers, like rocking like a beast.
Let's
dude.
go. Build different. 102.
Built different.
Easy.
Easy clap.
Burning
Shaking
up from being so hot.
shaking like a shimmy dancer with them chills, man. It was horrible. It was awful.
Yeah, it's about that season, but
'Tis the season. The reason for the season is pleasing.
right. We haven't been on for a while, so it's good to be able to hang out again and
God, it's been so
talk to
long.
all of you on the interwebs.
Fun story. My wife today was like, "Oh, podcast," and I said, "I don't know if we do that anymore."
But the
But here we
governor
are.
called and he said we're legally obligated
That's
to
right.
put out
Maura
a
Healy
podcast
said,
today.
"Listen up. I
So,
will
here
not.
we are.
I will not cancel your student debt if you don't do the podcast." I said,
It's-
got you.
It's part of our court-ordered community service. So
right.
here we are. What have you guys been up to? That's a big question.
Playing games and trying to survive.
As one
It's
does.
about it. It's about it. It's like my whole life.
What about you, Court, as you struggle on youtube.com/2dads and a console?
I've been watching hockey, coaching hockey, being there for my family. It's about it, man. Like, it's been rough. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a lot mentally, physically. I'm tired. I only came on here because I wanted to talk to you guys. Otherwise, I was just gonna go to bed.
He wanted to talk to me. You guys hear that?
Quick
I knew
shot.
that.
I didn't. I pretty much Pez, but
Quick
whatever.
shot of
Well,
NyQuil.
I'll take these wins.
Dude, I will 100%.
Shots,
Around
shots,
11,
shots.
11:20. I mean 8:20. I'm gonna walk away, put my headphones down mid sentence with I have to, and go get some drugs and take my drugs.
Done and done. Seriously though, like my life right now is just soccer. My kids play in travel soccer and middle school soccer, so it's just practice every day, games like 3 times a week. I live at the soccer field when I'm not working.
Dude,
and that's it.
I am happy that I'm at the rink all weekend. Like, I think it's great. Plus, I'm watching more hockey that I've watched in years. Look at my background. My background is pretty much morphed into hockey.
It went from video games to hockey.
You know what? It happened. It needed to happen. There's still video games. There's a PlayStation thing there. The Last of Us here. The Last of Us poster. I'm debating whether or not to get a Mighty Ducks poster or Slapshot or Shorzy. Shorzy, Slapshot. Shoresy's good, but it's I'm thinking Slapshot because that's more me.
Yeah.
Or Youngblood. Youngblood or Slapshot is more me.
Ooh, yeah.
And then
man, I haven't seen
giving the Last
Youngblood
of Us
for-
poster to a buddy of mine who really wants it. But
Oh, thank you.
you don't live near me, dude. If you live near me, I could hook you up with stuff, but you live far. It's just, for the people that don't realize, I started another YouTube channel, which was for his diehards, and it's doing all right. It's it's a second income, and I'm not gonna not.
Court's gone
not
back
do
to
it.
his roots.
The roots.
Back to
Well,
his roots. His nappy boots.
This what we do is I love.
Mm-hmm.
The Bruins diehard stuff, I love that as well. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Of course it does.
I can definitely do both.
Keep it
But
fun.
hockey was my first thing. Hockey video games. I in fact I've had people in my comment section making fun of my background, and I had a person who watches the videos all the time. It's like because someone's asked me before why I had like the Grogu and stuff. Oh, it's my daughter's stuff. And one of the people from my comments attacked the other guy. I was like, I didn't even have to say anything. This guy
Done.
just
Let's
jumped
go.
on.
Let's
Oh,
go.
my
You
God.
YouTube defenders, you've made it,
I
man.
know he jumped down that guy's throat. I'm even I didn't even purposely think I was coming on the show today, and I'm wearing my Dooley shirt. And I said to
Oh.
my wife, I'm like, I have to go on. I'm wearing my Me and Pez Got Drunk shirt.
Yep.
Anytime I wear this is the night that Wabba said, I've never drank this much.
Yep.
And
It was-
I
it
haven't
was
since,
beautiful.
and I probably won't until next year with you guys.
Well, yeah, in May. We once a year. It's funny with everything that's going on in my house. It's tough for me to get out. I'm going to the Leaf game, Bruins game in November with my daughter. But until then, all I have to look forward to is in May. I'm going to be coming to Boston. I'm going to spend one extra day, so it'll be 3 days this time,
Nice.
Okay.
and we're gonna get torn up.
Can you believe what he's
Right.
looking forward to is us, Pez?
Yeah,
Sad state
I'm
of
not-
affairs for
Yeah,
Court.
right.
I'm looking forward
we'll
to
try
Pez
not to
picking up at the
disappoint.
airport.
Oh!
And
There we go.
wait, no,
Maybe
he
the
had his
internet.
own dunk. He had his own. He's like, oh, you wanted some?
For dunks.
Yeah, I
Pez-
mean, I'm not gonna stop at Dunks in Boston.
He'll make a second trip.
Stopped on the way, and then at the convention center there was one right across the street.
I will say this: the blueberry donut at Dunkin' Donuts is the greatest donut ever. It literally is the best donut ever. It's my favorite. Do they have a
Wabba got
pumpkin spice donut right now?
Yeah,
No, they're gonna have a spider donut, and on the 14th, actually, no, already. I need to go. They have a bucket of Munchkins that I'm gonna get for my kid. Just gonna lose her
so you
mind.
get a bucket of Munchkins.
Bucket of Munchkins.
Well, we have them all the time here. They're called
Timbits.
Timbits, yeah.
Well, no, we have them, but now they're in bucket
But
form.
now they're in
I keep trying to
buckets.
convince Wabba to come here
I
because
one,
the Toronto Sports Card Show is coming up. But
one of these years I will. I won't be able to this year, but I think that'd be a
because
fun
he
trip.
doesn't want to give the government his real name to get a passport. That's
I already
all.
I have a passport.
me and Pez
Wow.
know his real name.
It's
They
under
made-
fake.
They made a
It's under-
passport called Wabba Plays.
It's yeah. It's
It's
when
just
you
one
when you
name.
gre-
It's like
when you
Prince.
grease the right hands, you can.
It's like Prince.
Also, that is a joke
Yeah,
for the government who watches. I do not. I have legal documents. Don't worry. Speaking of
No
legal
one from
documents,
the government is watching us.
are you sure?
Mind you, I'll say this: I've been trying to vote in the great state of Georgia, and my ballot has been in the mail for like a month and a half.
Uh-oh.
And
Sheesh.
so then I look it up, and I'm like, there's all these issues going on with mail-in ballots, and I think if finally there actually is a conspiracy, and someone is trying to stop people from voting.
Finally, welcome to the club. We wear tinfoil hats here.
All I want to do is vote,
The birds are
I-
watching us.
and I can't. My ballot won't come in the mail.
How can
And by
birds
the
be
time it
real if our
comes-
eyes aren't real?
Watch it come in the mail like the day of the election.
November 6th, baby. It's showing up the day after.
Realize.
Deep.
I was somewhere. I couldn't hang out with you guys. I was in the House of Mouse. I was in
Charles
Florida.
Entertainment Cheese.
No, I
Dude,
did go to Charles
hold on.
Entertainment on Monday.
You didn't, not just in Florida. Wabba was there during the hurricane.
Yeah,
During
Wabba was there at the
French
worst
Hurricane
time.
Milton.
He actually was in there exactly a year to the date of me being there.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that. But yeah,
Hold on. Do you not remember? Because I know Pez does, because the guy's got a memory like an elephant. But I literally said the dates I was going. You're like, I'm going to be there, and I was like, I'm going this year. You're like, oh no, I'm going next year.
Mhm.
oh, that's right. Yeah.
That did
Well, I
happen.
have the memory of a
Now, hold on. Do
goldfish.
you see how he remembered the conversation now?
Oh yeah, he's just like he didn't. He was just like, oh yeah, just so he could
Yeah.
say no. I don't remember that.
It's called Save In Face. But yeah, I was there. eBay's been pretty good to me, so took the women in my life to.
Are you allowed to
Disney,
say that out loud?
allegedly. And it's also now if I tried to claim it as content, that's a different thing. But no,
Hey, technically, I guess I can claim Bruin stuff now, eh?
you can.
And video games.
But it was a lot of fun.
Hey, look at me. I'm covering my bases.
I went on Guardians 3 times.
Heck,
I took
it's
I took
okay.
my kid on it twice. My wife went on it 4 times. It is the best ride I think that they have.
Yeah,
It
but the
was
hill
so much
it's
fun.
not a roller coaster though.
It kinda is. It's a ride.
Is it
Well,
more like the Back to the Future style ride?
yes. Well, no. It's not just sitting in front of a screen. And the Simpsons ride supposedly is gone now. It was there when I was there last year, but that Simpsons ride is where Back to the Future used to be. But I would say it's more of, yes, you're in a bike, but you're in a coaster, but there's no there's no chick, and like there's no
Gotcha.
it's not a roller coaster. It's a
like
coaster. How about we
Space
just call it,
Mountain, but spins.
yeah, there's no hill though, dude.
And there's cool music. So my
Pez,
first
you
time I
get
got
up to the
Tears
top,
for
and
Fears.
instead of dropping, you just go around.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
It's not.
I loved it. And
Okay. Sorry, I'm poo-pooing all over it.
no, I don't. So
was
no,
okay.
we got to do stuff, and it was the first time I'd been there where the weather wasn't always great. And I'm not talking just hurricane, but so we brought ponchos. We were all kitted out. I brought my waterproof shoes. Usually that's an environment I don't thrive in, but I chose to change my mindset to a grind set. And
Usually that's an environment.
the rain, I do not thrive in the rain.
I hate that you just used I changed my mindset to a grind set. I hate it. I can't get over it. How much I hate it.
I'm glad.
That is like something The Rock probably said once, and that makes me hate it even more. Because
Yeah,
I could hear him like, change your mindset to a grind set. I'm The Rock. Buy The Rock product.
I do. And I do. But it was a lot of fun. We went for a lot of days. We did like, Epcot during the day. My wife got too many margaritas.
Did she drink around the world?
No, she just drinks in Mexico, and
I believed
both
in
of them
her
around.
until then.
But like, what I love about Disney, and it's like obviously my daughter loves it, but like I'm gonna say something that sounds cliche, but I'm gonna qualify it. People like the customer service there is like top notch. People are like, oh, it's so magical. Like I don't understand. Like the people go out of their way.
Have a magical day.
No, not just that, but they go out of their way to like make sure you have a good time. And if you're kind to them,
because you're spending
which we
thousands of
are,
dollars.
well, but the people working there, they're not impacted by your sales.
Well, no,
Like they don't care. They're there to go there, do their time, and go home. Like for example, like one of the times we were doing the Halloween party at night, which was great, and I did the lightning lane a week ahead of time because that's what I do. And our Slinky Dog, which my daughter loves, it's a roller coaster in the Toy Story Land. It was too late in the day, and I said, "Hey, is there any way to make this earlier? Like, if you can say no, it's totally fine. We're going to the party tonight, and my kid really wants to do this. If you can't do it, I totally understand." She goes, "Hold on one sec," and she's like, "Okay, you can go whatever you want." It's like stuff like that. And then we went on Slinky Dog another time. Again, and they say, "Okay, you get to pick what you want to go in the front or the back." And my kid says the front. But if you know roller coasters, the back is the best. And my wife and I both go the back. So they seat us in the back, and the woman comes over and says, "Hey, when you're done with this, I want to seat you in the front next time. So come over to the handicap gate, and I'll put you through a second time." So basically, a ride that has an hour wait, they just let us on again. And my wife made these like Taylor Swift bracelets because you can't give them money, otherwise your boy would be walking around with fat stacks to bribe people. But she makes these bracelets, and she gives them out to cast members who are nice. The employees are called cast members, and
I bet they love that too.
yeah,
they're very appreciative of that.
It's just something different, and also too, like we go and see the characters, and we went to like Lilo and Stitch's, restaurant because my daughter loves it. Is it too expensive? Yes, but like this is like her thing, and she made special bracelets for them that say like aloha,
that's so precious.
It's just one of those things where it's like it's very cool for my daughter, and it's very cool being a parent seeing that experience through my kids' eyes. Like because me and my wife went, it was cool, and we went on the crazy rides and stuff like that. But being able to go on like the slower rides and like like the ones that like she just likes doing, and just being able to be silly and like do the characters again, like it's really cool, and I'm glad. The only downside is two. One is that her favorite ride, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, is closing next year for refurbishment, so likely we will not be going back next year. And two, we got stuck there during a hurricane, so I had to stay an extra day.
You didn't get stuck there. Hold on.
I had to change my flight.
Calling poops on this one.
Calling poops.
Pez and I earlier in the week were like, "Hey, did you see the weather?"
Oh, never mind. You're right.
All right. I will not continue. Move on.
No. You told me that. Hey, You should probably get out of there. And know what I did? I probably read it and said, "Oh," and then put it back in my pocket.
Yeah, get out
Is
of
that-
where? Why would I leave Disney? It's the most magical place on earth. There's
So
only
like a
a
week-
cat 3 hurricane
and-
come ripping, roaring
And
through
then
here.
he sends it. He ignores the messages. Me and Pez talk about it for a whole day, and then a couple days later, he's like, "Hey, I had to move my flight till Friday. Look, we're hunkering down in the hotel room." We're like, "Yeah, no, duh."
Yeah.
Like
He's like,
the
guys,
biggest hurricane.
did you know there's a hurricane coming through Florida? I don't know if you guys heard this.
You're right.
There's
No,
a
you're
massive
totally right.
hurricane coming.
So we tried to get out. I moved my flight from Thursday, which was the day that Disney closed. Now, mind you, Disney doesn't close. It closed for like 2 weeks during COVID. So the fact that I was there on a day where it did, kind of cool. I watched the day before I moved my flight and then they shut the airport down. Shout out to my travel agent. If anybody, travel agents are free, by the way, like third-party travel agents, they get paid by Disney. If you are going, let me know. I will recommend her to you. She's fantastic. She knew that Orlando airport was closed before the airline did. So when I called up because the app crashed, I called up and wanted to change my flight and I said, yeah, the airport closed on, Tuesday and Wednesday. She goes, oh, I hadn't heard that. I got to move my flight to Friday. So
Nice.
and my agent moved my bus schedule every single time I move my flight. It's terrific. She booked my reservations for all this stuff. She took care of me. This was so above and beyond what she had to do. And we got out of there on Friday. It's very interesting being on property. They have people that work overtime. They have like staff. They get like double or triple overtime. They volunteer to be there. They're safe. It's very safe there. I did not feel, scared once. We did stay up till 2 a.m. to open the door and see the wind. I will say this:
like a fart in the wind.
it was a
Cacophony of farts.
diarrhea in the wind. It was wild. Let me say this: as someone who I'm not typically scared of weather because I live in the Northeast. Snow, you just have to wait it out. I can wait for days. You want me to sit on this butt? I'll do it for millennia. I don't care. I just need to wait out the snow. Hurricanes, you have a 2-hour period that is known where you are borked if you are outside. It is wild. The fact that like we watched the news and stuff because we had cable in there. It's like you have all this prep. Oh, by the way, Tampa's getting borked while I'm eating a sandwich watching. And then it's like, oh, by the way, like between 1 and 3 a.m., like Orlando's getting hit. It's so weird. And then it's over. And then you just deal with the aftermath. Now, granted, I know there's like storm surge and like stuff like that by the coast in Daytona Beach. It's wild. It's so different than snow. And walking around the next day, seeing kind of all the things, people were checking on us all the time. It was great. Seeing
Sand
like
is
the
different than
siding come
snow?
off. It was just, it's so weird as someone who's never been through like a hurricane before. That type of experience. And we have people on our team like for work who are, I know you guys don't think I have a job, who like live in Florida, like Tampa area. We were, checking in on them, but I have a much deeper appreciation for hurricane than I did before. Not the team. The team can go kick rocks, but the actual event of a hurricane. So that's my TED Talk.
Not the team, but the event.
Yeah, the team blows. Dougie Hamilton. Hey, I know he's not there anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. He's in. They resigned. New Jersey signed him.
I know, but I still hate him, and I associate him with there because.
How dare you speak of Douglas that way?
Douglas can kick rocks. So yeah, that's all for where I was. But yeah, so we're a video game podcast, by the way. Did
Sometimes.
you know?
Are we?
Debatable.
Sometimes. You guys have been playing some games. Who wants to share their experience first?
I will.
Uh,
let's talk
yeah.
about my favorite series of all time, The Legend of Zelda. A little game came out for the Nintendo Switch called Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, where you get to play as Link, the woman. No, you get to play as Zelda for the second time ever. The first one doesn't count because it was a CDI game and no one plays the CDI. But if you ever want to look it up, Zelda, the Wand of Gamelon, horrible. Don't play it. This one, however, lovely, lovely little game. A lot of people didn't like, that's not true, but people didn't like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom because it was such a deviation away from the Zelda, Zelda mechanic, the top-down look, like everything that kind of made it Zelda. This one goes back to that Zelda type game where you need to go into mini dungeons and figure out the puzzles and do the thing. It's a lot of fun. It looks great. It reminds me of or it's supposed to look like the Link's Awakening remake, where they're all kind of plastic toys. And the big thing about this one is that she has the ability to create echoes of everything in the world. So you create an echo of a bed, you can make up to 3 or 4 echoes, and you use these to like traverse the world, cross over water. The beds float, so they cross over water. You can create echoes of enemies that you've defeated, so now they're on your side, taking out other enemies. That's also part of the puzzle solving aspect of it. There isn't, in true like Zelda Breath of the Wildy fashion, there isn't one way to just do a puzzle anymore. You can just do it however you think it'll work. And I think that's really neat. The game kind of runs terribly on the Switch at times. And I think that is more because the Switch is coming on 8 years old in March. So like, Nintendo, just release the second one. You can tell me I am a shareholder. You can tell me when you're going to release it. It's fine.
Legally, they have to.
Legally, they have to. Where's my notice, Nintendo?
You're
Come
an
on,
owner.
man. I'm not going to leak it. Maybe.
But if you did, it would be on 3dadsconsole.com.
Bingo, bango, bongo. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty fun game. And I will say it is nice to go back to a Zelda-esque game that isn't just an open world. Make whatever Zordon that you want to make, right? And just wreak war crimes throughout Hyrule and just like decimate enemies. Nope, this one's a lot cuter. I'm not going to say it's a lot simpler because the puzzles are different, but the echo mechanic is really nice. One thing I don't like is the echo sorting menu. There's only like 4 ways to sort it. It's like just learned, just used, by value, because your little companion Tri has these little triangles behind her, and that's like your echo currency. So you can like only make 3, or if you level her up, like you could only make 4. So it is kind of annoying to scroll through the echo menu at times. But you get used to it pretty quickly. No voice acting, like in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, like they were fully voice acted other than Link. None of that. A lot of text, a lot of sounds. The game sounds great. Again, it looks great. It runs well 90% of the time. I'm having a lot of fun playing it, and I'm really happy that they decided to deviate away from the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom style gameplay to just give us an old school Zelda game, because that's what it feels like. Like, we haven't gotten one of those, and I'm not going to count Link's Awakening because that was a remake. So we haven't gotten one of those since, like, I don't even know, Wind Waker. Maybe like something, maybe a handheld like Minish Cap or something like that. So it just feels good to play those kind of games again, and I'm really glad and really happy Nintendo decided to put that out.
That's the kind of Zelda that like I'm used to, like the top down, like, items, progression, stuff like that. The whole open world in most games isn't really my jam.
Yeah.
And I think after like 2 big iterations of that, like it's nice to have that variety. Like you don't just have to try to do like one style. So
yeah, and they did and they executed it quite well. And I like the echo mechanic outside of the menu being kind of like, this should be better. I like the echo mechanic a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Would recommend.
Court, you've been playing some games. Do you want to talk about one or both, or the big one?
Excuse me. I'll get to my rant about NHL.
All right.
But over the weekend, my good friends over at Ubisoft provided me a code for Just Dance. Dance. I played a lot of that game with my daughter this weekend and her friend. My daughter had a sleepover just because of that game.
Oh.
So we've been getting it for the last 3 years now. If I said to everybody the game has changed, the concept is simple.
Yes.
You play really fun songs and you dance to them, and you can see who can get the better score. It's gotten to the point where my daughter has learned some of the tactics using the Joy-Cons because we played on the Switch. I wouldn't recommend it playing anywhere else. If you play it on PlayStation or Xbox, you got to use your phone, and no, not cool because you got to use your phone as the wand.
Don't
It's
you have
just
phones?
what? Sorry.
Don't you have phones?
Yeah, but it's so much better with the Switch with the
Settle
Joy-Cons.
down, Diablo Immortal. Quiet over
Yeah.
there.
Oh, sorry. I sorry.
It was a
my
deep
apologies.
cut. I know.
So they've added new songs. So she got a bunch of new Imagine Dragons songs. She got there's a couple Taylor Swift songs in there, and even artists that they'll have like the cover of it. So
Oh,
you
gotcha.
get a lot of really cool songs, and you can get there is a season's pass where it adds more songs. And to be totally honest, I've purchased the season pass. It's not that expensive. I think it was like 14.99 Canadian, which is a whole lot of nothing, and it gives you like 200 extra songs.
Oh wow.
There's yeah,
Jeez.
exactly, throughout the year.
Yeah.
Because you get the back catalog. So all the catalogs keep going up as long as they have their licensing agreements. Let's be totally honest here. And you can have competitions. And so she was playing her friend. My daughter, there is like a story you can do in it, but it's really just playing through all the songs in the game and doing the dance. There's not much really to it, but at the same time, the game isn't expensive.
Yeah.
It knows what it is. And it's a lot of fun for the family because like this is a game any one of us can play. And my daughter, she thinks it's the greatest thing ever. This is one of like this is her NHL where I'm playing NHL all the time. She's like, "Can I have my like her friend? We have hockey. She has hockey this weekend, and it's at 11:30." And she's like, "Well, can my friend come over after and we can play Just Dance?" I was like, "Sure." And there's a reason why, like at McDonald's had a Happy Meal around Just Dance because it's that popular with the kids. So, um, they're not reinventing the wheel with this game, but they don't have to.
No.
It's fun. That's the best I can give you. There's not much to it, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's just dancing to music.
Is there any of your music on it?
No. I'm allowed to put my music? What do you mean?
No, I mean like, is there any songs that you're like, oh man, that's
No.
my music?
No, I'm not a pop person, so no. Actually no, there is a there was excuse me. Sorry, my apologies.
I know that one.
I've
I've been singing it for the past week.
We don't talk about Bruno. That's on there.
Oh, what a banger!
I just started that movie
What a
with
banger!
my daughter.
That's a very good song. So that's on
that
there.
soundtrack.
A lot of
rips,
great
dude.
Disney songs are on there. But that's on there, and there is a Maroon 5 song that I like that's on there. That's right. I said it.
Which one?
I think it is Sunday Morning, but I can't remember.
This love.
No, that's not the song, so don't do that. But after talking about that, that's the fun part. I wanted to talk about a game that we love, which is NHL. Like I truly
But the kids do it this way.
I love hockey more than anything else. That's my sorry. I love my family first, but hockey is it's the thing that consumes me. And this year's NHL released by EA, and I'll be totally honest, I got an early review code. I got one of the very first codes when I first logged on. There was only like 4 other people who had codes for this game, and one of them was no sleeves, and the other one was what's his name? You said his name before.
Some bacon on it.
Nasher. Remember, I sent you. I did not send you a screenshot. I told you who the people were.
Yeah.
But
me.
I was in shock. There was like 4 of us who had this game, and I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." This year they've added so many things to make it feel more like hockey, and I hate saying that, but they do. Like the dynamic skating, where I can actually back up from taking the draw, and I get the defenseman, and actually can curl this way. You can curl. You can actually move like a real hockey player, and so many things. They have added some arcadey things, but I think they need to do that to ramp up the excitement and get more people playing that are not hockey players. I do wish one of my things I wish is that you could turn that off. That you could turn off all arcade
like a
aspects of it.
simulation. Isn't that more versus? Well, no, it would still have the same
you
components. I know
can't
what you
do-
mean.
Yeah, I wish you could turn all that kind of stuff off and have it more tight. I also wish that they would yeet the poke check into just make it so it doesn't exist. Because as a hockey purist, I could tell you right now, it is not as effective as it is in the stupid video game, and it drives me insane. When you watch an NHL game, do you just see people poke checking all the time? Because that's not how the game's played. So I just wish that they would yeet the poke check into existence, so it like almost take it out of the game. Because if you're playing online against these so-called people that are good at the game, when they're not good at hockey, all they do is poke check. You poke check, right?
Oh, of course I do. It's
Yeah.
overpowered.
It makes no sense. So this year they changed a whole bunch of things about the game. They changed the gameplay, and the gameplay of it is amazing. I would say the gameplay for hockey over the last 10 years of NHL games, it's the best it's been in 10 years for gameplay. Now, there are game modes, and the creators, they create content off it. But what has happened in the last couple of years with creators around this game is it's become, if you're not dunking on the game, you're not getting views. And that's because that's what people expect. Because if you don't dunk on the game, then you're being fake and you're being purchased by EA. And that's the way I read it, because I've been going through. I've done the last 3 years of some of the top 4 creators of this game, and I took screenshots of their thumbnails. And it's unbelievable. They're almost carbon copies of each other over and over and over again of them dunking on the game. Oh yeah. The finger pointing is there, but it's also like, this sucks. Like, it's all it is saying something about the game sucks for the last couple of years. And then there'll be like a how-to guide. So the game will release and they'll be like, this is how you do these things. And then after a week of release, and they're probably in their comment section, they see everybody saying the game sucks because that's all that people know how to say. They are like, yep, I'm going to have to lean into that. And so then all their content they create around the game is it sucks. But for some reason, they play this game 24 hours a day and they make an income off it. But yet the game sucks. So they're all complaining about the new modes in HUT. And I think the reason they're complaining about it is because they're not the best anymore. Because the way they played the game before, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you go out and get the best cards right now, because that doesn't matter anymore. EA has turned it more into, and I can't believe this, into like MLB The Show, when whatever the program or the progression path that you need to go through for that month or the weeks, those are the cards you need to use. So for me, like, I wanted the Pasternak card, and then I like realized I'm like, I could put him in my lineup and pay a whole bunch of money to get him, of coins that I've earned in the game, but I can't use him for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, having him in my lineup absolutely doesn't matter. And playing online in your champs mode, they don't really get rewarded for that. Yes, you get extra rewards for it. You get cards you can't use towards the progression path. So what's the point of even playing in champs, except for the sake of like my buddy, like, look at me, I'm the number one that's played this. But if you play wildcard, which a mode I love, they make it so you can only you have 3 wildcard slots. And if you're smart, you will always use one for the goalie, unless they give you a tall goalie you can use. Because if you use with the small goalies, if you haven't noticed in the wildcard game, all the goalies they keep giving us are really short guys, and it's so easy to roof the puck over top. But I always put Jake Oettinger in there, and that's one of my wildcard slots. And then I take 2 forwards every single time. But you're playing against equals, so I can go out there and I can win 4 games in a row, and then I could lose 4 in a row. But I went in there and I went against Thrash a couple days ago. I went in and I matched up against him and I beat him. And guess what?
That's a good player.
He is definitely better at the game than me, but he isn't better at the game than me, that I found out, because you know why? He's only better at the game than me when he has his team that's stacked.
Hmm.
Because when he had to play with the same amount of skill level that I had with players, he lost. I beat him 2-1. So it finally equaled out. And for offline players like myself, because I don't have time, we're dads. I don't got time to put 12, 14 hours into this game. I'm able to go in, get my dailies, play for like a half an hour each day, 45 minutes, and I have all the cards. I have Zetterberg. I have Iserman. I was able to make a Cal McCarr. I'm not putting a lot of effort in, and I'm able to do everything in the game. And I'm getting a lot more enjoyment out of it. And I find it very interesting that the creators of the game, the creators who make money off this game, and they daily put out videos, daily put out content, all they want to do is say how much the thing sucks. This thing that you keep saying sucks literally puts money in your pocket, and keeps you employed.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling to me. I don't understand when society turned into this. If I don't say something sucks and I'm not negative about it, I can't be popular.
I think the game. So I've spent now like a week since I've been back with it, because I was on the. That's how long I've been able to play, and I've noticed like a few things. One is like they're definitely creating this curve that has never existed in NHL that's existed in other sports games, where they're shifting, like, you just need to shift, not you, but like in general, shift the goalposts in your mind of what the range of cards should be. They took it from like 80 as decent to now like 76 as decent. So the rewards you're like the players you're getting aren't going to be as good. Also, they're giving you more of like guaranteed players at a certain level than they are of like these giant packs to like stockpile rewards and like build an all master team at this point. And I don't know if I like it more yet, but it's also new and the game's been out for 2 weeks. So I kind of got to like hear it out. I don't like from what I see, the XP path has been fine so far. I find it interesting that there's a time limit on the game, like in that sense, but at the same time, like who's going to be able to hit level 70 like right away. So it's interesting seeing how like things are going. I do miss having like the fun rewards, but also too like that's
But
not what they're doing this year.
but I'm getting, so I feel different. I feel that I am getting like the fact that Pez and I, when we play MLB the show, is because we like the history of baseball. So like Pez will like message me, he's like, dude, did you see that weight box card? Like that's the card I want to get because that's what we care. So
Yeah.
this year, when they did the Cover Athletes program, I saw countless videos saying this is the worst program ever. And then me looking at it, I'm like, I can get Joe Sakic, Steve Yzerman, Henrik Zetterberg, all these players that I'm like, these are the like, I just want to play with them.
Mhm.
And like they're in my lineup and I have to use them because I get progression towards the path. But the content creators are like, well, they're 82s. These cards suck. Well, no, they don't, because you don't need anything better right now to play with, but you're not understanding what the new meta is for the game and how to progress in it. So you're complaining about something that, guess what? You don't understand. So you're getting mad at something because you, instead of trying to learn about it, you decided to just be like, nope, it's not letting me do this old system where I just like scam the game to have the best cards. Well, that doesn't matter anymore. I could go unlock the Gretzky. I don't need him in my lineup though.
Yeah.
He doesn't do me anything.
One thing I've observed like from last like 2 years ago, my biggest frustration was I played the whole year. I never could get Gretzky or Lemieux. Last year I was able to pull both, but I also had enough resources to build both. This year they've given you a clear path of how to do it, and they've ensured that it takes a certain amount of time before you can, if you don't spend hundreds of dollars. Last year again, I got X Factor McDavid very early on. I kind of got accustomed to having like an amazing card. At this point, I have like I think 6 out of 8 to build one card that you need to build 4 of. Like they're creating a path. So like I'm not going to be able to get him right away, but I'm on my way. I'm pretty
I've
far
got a
for a week.
Yeah, dude, I've got a ton of X factors. I've got a ton
Yeah.
of like, hold on, I'll pull my
I'm
team up.
pretty far for after a week.
My team's not bad. I got
Yeah.
OV, 85 OV. I've got
Yeah.
85 Cal McCarr. Like I got a decent team, and I'm not putting like the time that Wabba puts in it. Like Pez, I'd actually say for the first time ever, like it's finally like what we want it to be. And if they start doing roster shit, like I shouldn't say roster share, but like because they do roster share, but if they start doing, I don't know, more allowing the community to create,
Yes.
I think it'll even get bigger. But like for the first time ever, Pez, the gameplay doesn't piss me off because it plays like I said, if I'm the defenseman and I get it on the far left side and I want to cut to the middle with it, and then my actual defense partner will actually switch up with me and I'll
Yep.
cross. And what I find it interesting is so many people started dunking on the trailer about like this little glitch they saw, and I'm like, I haven't noticed that. Like I thought the AI has been clogging the lanes, which is hilarious. Like it's driving me insane how better defensively. And also, no matter what mode you play on, the goalie is on semi-pro or above. Even if you play on rookie, he's not on rookie. No goalie is on rookie in the game.
The I would say the 2 or 3 biggest pieces of feedback I have are the D to D one timer with the skill one timer. It's very consistent. I don't know if that's accurate consistent, but I feel like
No,
there's
it's
sometimes where
consistent.
I do everything like right and they can still like get the pass and it feels like, oh man, like they got me. But I can also do that to people. I had to come back today because I didn't. It feels kind of like sometimes those goals aren't always earned. If I'm saying that right, like I feel like that should be nerfed or at least a success rate, or it should be a little tougher to get that skill, like that the timing. I think that XP should be unlocked for everything, including moments. It is unlocked for HUT Champs. Thresh clarified that for me today, even though it doesn't show it. But and also too, I wish that for the wild card mode, it didn't take me 2 hours to complete each week, and then I'd have to wait a week. Like they create this like path within a path, so I can get
Yeah, but
XP,
I
and
think the
other stuff.
I think the wildcard mode's just there, just so you can play it right off the bat, and that's really what you should play first, just to get the card at the end and get cards so that
It
you can
is.
play. Because like I look at my first line right now, I got Elias Pettersson, X Factor, on left wing with Jack Hughes at center with Ovechkin, and the only reason Hughes was at center is because I needed it for the path. I needed the face offs, and then my second line I have Nico Hischier on left wing with Joe Sakic at center, Steve Yzerman on right wing. And then I have Patrick Laine with Wyatt Johnson and Matthew Tkachuk. Then I have Quentin Byfield with Pat LaFontaine and Martin St. Louis.
Yeah.
And then my goalies are Jake Ottinger and Charlie Lindgren. And then my defense is Mackenzie Weegar, who, when did he become the best defenseman in the game to use? Because he really is. And then Cal McCarr, 85, it's our right card, but he gets tired real quick. And then I have Pronger, who's a beast, with Brock Favor 84, which they gave us very easily. And they gave me Shabbat and Jones. My only thing that I have a problem with this is because they still make me trade in cards and use them as currency. I want to be able to keep them like I'm collecting cards, and then you have me forever.
Hmm.
But right now, I forgot. I wanted to take Line A out and put Zetterberg in. Like, dude, I love it. Like, I think it's great. I just wish I could keep the cards and trade them into the sets. Like if I got all the Bruins team set, then I get like a crazy Bruins card.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. There's just not that dopamine hit from PAX this year. And I don't know if that's good or bad yet. Right now I'm seeing it as a way where I can start to save to build Gretzky. I do not think that this year I'll be able to build the team of the years like I did last year. But it's just again shifting. Like another thing from like a parent perspective too is I noticed like last year I felt like I had to do so many. I understand it's a video game. This is a game I'm passionate about. It's a game I do content around. I had to do, okay, I got to commit all this time to do Rivals. Once I hit all my max Rivals games, now I've got to do the HUT Champs to get all the rewards. And then I'm going to dabble in squad battles, which I hate. And it felt like a chore sometimes where I'd be doing squad battles when I'd be like doing laundry. Now it's like, I don't have to do that. And I feel like I can kind of take a breath and a step back. And again, I know I'm talking about a video game being a little hyperbolic, but it feels like it's not as much of a commitment. And for a person like us who has a lot of other commitments, it's a little easier to keep up. And with the people who would grind more, I find that it's a little tougher to step ahead at this point.
Well, they're so used to playing a certain way, and for the first time ever, and I've even heard from talking to developers, they're gonna change. Like I kept hitting it home about the collecting the cards and not using the currency. He's like, "We hear you. Like we're looking into it."
Yeah.
And like if they get to that, where like okay, Pez, literally gave them the suggestion that we've been talking for years. I'm like, I asked the question. I said, "Have you guys ever reached out to Upper Deck or OPG?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, I love the card art. I actually think out of all the EA games,
amazing.
including Madden and all that, NHL has the best card art.
Yep.
But I was like, how amazing, and I said this to them, I was like, how amazing would it be to use the Gretzky rookie card in the game? And they were like, I'm like, I know. I'm just saying, how amazing would it be to use the Gretzky rookie card or have a program and call it the Young Guns program, where you get to use Sidney Crosby Young Gun. You get to use Patrice Bergeron Young Gun. Like, come on, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where are we at with that? And I was just like, I called them out on it. I was like, come on. And then they were also explaining to me, like, some players, they have to wait a couple of years before they can put them back in the game. Because I was like, where's my Bergeron? Why am I getting no Bergeron? But think about it. Zetterberg only got put in the game.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. But I think there's some tweaks to do, but they're almost there. Like this new system allows me to play the game and not have to worry that, Wabba's like, oh my God, I played. It doesn't matter how many hours you put in. We can all be the same.
Exactly. And I'm okay with that right now with, a dad life.
I wish that in the HUT moments that I got
XP.
XP. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the HUT moments are actually easier this year and they're better rewards.
I wish they would patch that. Honestly, I don't mind the moments this year. I think they actually made it better.
And
The
it
only
seems
thing,
like they are patching it because the Nasher's comments makes me think they're looking into patching it.
well, they already made 2 changes. One was the timer actually is at the bottom now. They patched that today because it was you couldn't see it for like team of the week because it was black text on a black background, which. But I would like them to patch that, and also too, when you restart a challenge, it brings you back to the home screen where you have to select your team. That wasn't like it last year. Just restart the challenge. So, but that's a small quality of life. But so goes. Next thing I just want to talk about quickly. Pez has helped me facilitate a purchase.
It's true.
And I wanted to bring this up, one, because Pez can kind of talk a little bit about it, but also two, because this is a big defining moment for me. I have purchased a
Dude, you're
passport.
acting like you
No.
bought a house or something. Like, Jesus.
I have purchased a zoo. We bought a zoo. No, I bought a Steam Deck.
Woo.
It's on the way. Pez, tell me
Yes.
why I made a good deal.
Because now you can play all of your Steam games on the go. Not
Okay.
only that, it is an excellent emulation machine. So if you are someone that likes to emulate old games, or maybe current games, I don't know how to do that. This is an excellent machine to do that because it is a Linux-based system. There are some, you're gonna have to do some homework. Or probably just give it to like Pancakes or something and have them do the whole thing because you don't do anything.
Sure, that's facts. He doesn't do anything.
That's true.
I know. I almost offered. I was like, if you want to come up for the day, I'll get it all hooked up. But then I
And he has to
realized,
come to your house.
but then I realized you don't leave your house, so you'll
That's
just
true.
give it to your brother-in-law. I know what I'm doing.
Imagine I lived near close to you. Pez and I would hang out all the time. And
All
Wall
the
would be
time.
like, "You guys hang out all the time," and we'd be like, "Yeah, you can too if you want to."
You can just
You
come over.
can afford me.
You can just come over. So it is a great emulation machine. I would recommend, depending on what you want to emulate, get yourself a. I currently have a 120 gigabyte SD card.
Is that enough?
For what I want on it? Yes, it's currently enough.
Sorry.
I'm looking into a larger one. That's just for my emulated games. For my Steam games, I have a 256 gigabyte SD card.
What's
Prob-
a gigabyte? Kidding.
1 gigabyte. So there is also the internal memory. So like if you're just gonna play some visual novels or whatever, you can just keep it on the internal memory and it'll be fine.
Yep.
But I have found I love this machine. I use it all the time. I use it when I'm sitting downstairs.
That's what she said.
It's true. When I'm sitting on my first floor, like watching TV, but I want to just get into some No Man's Sky or whatever, I just pop it on the Steam Deck and just play. You want to play some xCloud games? Hook up your Linux to be able to run xCloud, and all of a sudden you're playing Persona 3 on my couch without really owning it because I'm playing it on xCloud. Or if you want to put in some PS5 remote play, right? And you're sitting up in your, you're sitting on your couch and your PS5 is on the TV that your daughter is watching whatever on. Maybe it's Ladybug Girl and Cat Noir. I don't know.
I love that show. I have a figure of it.
My daughter used to love that show.
My wife was watching that before we had a child.
Tiki, spots on. And you can then you can remote play your PS5 from your Steam Deck. It's not just a machine that you can only use Steam games on because it's Linux, and Linux is pretty not open source, but it's pretty handy. You can do a lot with it. You can actually, if you're smart enough, which I'm not, and I'm not going to do it anyway, you can actually load Windows onto it and make it a Windows machine, right? That's how versatile the Steam Deck is. I think you made a good choice, especially if you're going to travel a lot, because you'll be able to not only use your PC library, right? You can sideload things like Blizzard's Battle.net, and you can play Battle.net games.
I could play Hearthstone.
You can play Hearthstone on your Steam Deck. You can play Overwatch on your Steam Deck. You can play Diablo 4 on the Steam Deck without needing to buy it again. if you buy stuff on Amazon or GOG or whatever, you can put in, it's called the Heroic Launcher. It pulls those games from your library of different launchers and can install them onto your Steam Deck. So this thing is very versatile and it can pull from a lot of different ways. And if a game is like not verified, but maybe it's like gold or silver, there are communities where you can find the settings to run a game properly. So like I played Fallout 76 on it, I played Fallout 4, I played Sea of Thieves, I've played No Man's Sky, Hades, like a ton of different games. And then all of a sudden, if I'm playing Hades and I'm like, I'm just not feeling this, pop out the SD card, pop in my other SD card, and it's like, oh, I'm going to play Super Mario Brothers 3. Oh, I'm going to play Wind Waker. Oh, I'm going to play whatever. I'm going to play MAME in a bunch of arcade games. And it's super versatile. And I think if you do it correctly, you will not get sick of it.
That's kind of, so I'm going to be traveling to my grandparents in November. And I was like, well, they go to bed early. I'm going to have time. Why don't I just bring my PS5? And then I started thinking what a headache that would be to travel with the PS5.
Why do you need to bring your video games?
Well, what else am I going to do? At like,
Hang out with your family.
no, they go to bed at like,
what do you do? 8
o'clock.
Watch TV.
I stay up until 12.
Why?
Because I don't know.
Why are you sick all the time?
I can tell you as someone that has also used it at like PAX, like it travels incredibly well.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'll just get a PlayStation Portal. But then I was like, when am I going to use this for $200? Like, I don't see myself using it. I'm like, oh, well, what about a Steam Deck? And you talked to me about it. My brother-in-law talked to me about it. And the more I heard about it, and I was like, oh, let me get this one. He goes, well, you want to get the OLED. And I was like, if I'm going to buy it, I might as well buy the good one.
Yeah.
So I did. And it's definitely like, it's a mini PC. It's an investment. But the fact that I can play all the old games that I love, games that I own that are currently in storage right now on a machine, it's very cool. And I'm excited too to just be able to share it with my daughter because she likes watching my wife play Switch. She likes trying, like watching Animal Crossing with her. I can show her like, here are the games I grew up on. Not Eternal Darkness, but like, Mario 64, obviously.
And so my recommendation, the first thing you want to buy is obviously SD cards, but buy a tempered glass screen protector.
Tempered glass screen protector. I don't drop things though.
It doesn't matter. You have a child. They drop things and they may drop things on it. So spend the money. Okay. Stop being a cheap ass.
Oh, it's only $10.
And I recommend if you're gonna get it from Anchor because they're one of the best. Anyway, I think it's a good purchase. GG's. And let me tell you, I've already played Persona 5 and 4 on there, and they run beautifully.
Let's go. So, yeah, just a interesting parent purchase for me. Any final thoughts from folks? No, we're getting to the end. Can you believe it? We made it through a full thing when we're all infirmed.
We did it. The one thing, I know we haven't talked about the hockey season, and we're not going to run super late tonight. Gentlemen, I'm a little worried.
I can't run any more minutes.
I'm a little worried that the Bruins defense is too big and too slow.
Nope.
I'm more worried that the Bruins are too big and too slow.
Fair enough.
I think the defense will be fine. Because surprisingly, Zadorov has got speed. Who would have thunk it? Even Brazeau, who he's not defense, but he's forward. He's got speed, but for some reason they're taking him out of the lineup to put in Max Jones, or as I call him, Nick Ritchie 2.0.
Max Jones, man.
He guy's terrible. He's right up there with Riley Tufte, who's Nick Ritchie's brother 2.0. Wow, you don't need either of these Neanderthals in the lineup. The Bruins got big. Because they have to play Florida in the playoffs. Well, guess what? This is the regular season. They need some skill. They need, I can't believe I'm going to say this because I don't think he's that good, but they need Tyler Johnson in the lineup, for God's sakes. Just somebody who has another look. I even thought when they threw up Patra on the second line and had him with Marchand and Brazeau, I was like, oh, you know what? This gives two guys to go in the corner and come out with the puck. Yeah, Brazeau can be that net front guy who can take shots from the point, push people out of the way, and let Marchand, who, let's be honest, he's lost a step.
Yep.
not have to carry the puck into the neutral zone. That can now be Machapatra, and Marchand can be the one-timer guy, take rebounds, take the guy sitting at the side of the net, do that kind of stuff. They need to stop trying to keep up with the Joneses and play Boston Bruins hockey again. If you remember when they were winning all those times in 2011, 12, 13, they had speed, skill, and size on every line. Now they just have size.
Yeah. Now they're just big, and their bottom six is like more like, you know, their
Their
bottom six is
rock
like
stars.
rock bottom six.
Well, their fourth line is the best
Their
fourth
fourth line
in the league.
is the probably their like most productive.
We're back
line.
to the Merlot line. Let's go.
Well, no, I was thinking we call them the Beach Boys because Johnny Beecher's on that line, but
Ooh,
no
I
one seems to like
Beach
that
Boys.
idea.
I like it.
So a lot of people were being smart mouths and just playing like the new first line. I'm like, we can't call them that.
Yeah.
I just like the Beach Boys because one, band's amazing. Two, Johnny Beecher is playing rock stars and he's number 19 and my dad wore the number. So I'm just like, whatever.
There you go. Done.
I really like the fourth line. Actually really like tonight that Frederick is up on the second line.
I do too. I think it's a smart move.
I think Freddie can get 20 goals. He's played very well. Patra and him have played very well together, but Coyle's got to get going. And I get it. But if he continues to struggle, I don't play him anymore.
Well, I mean,
put him on the third line.
He's always struggled in that second line center position. Always. If you look at his career,
25 goals last year.
Yeah, but he wasn't more a third line center last year?
No, he was second line center last year. He got 25 goals.
25
goals, 60 points.
I thought he was on the third.
Trent Frederick getting praise.
That's
Who was
all
right?
Heard.
That's all he heard.
Right.
That's it. That was my hockey minute after possibly fever dreaming watching the Bruins the past week or so. Especially against Florida. Rough.
Yeah, they look like Wabba playing out there.
Look like a Wabba Twitch stream.
Ooh, look at that. Look at Wabba. If you go into my Discord, look what Angus got. He just got a Trent Frederick Future Watch auto.
Cool. He's going to send that to me now because I'm going to bully. Oh, I have that.
Yeah, isn't it a 10?
Date on it. Yeah, mine's a 10.
Yeah, it was a 10.
No, it just says he doesn't have it graded.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Wabba does. Wabba has a 10.
Because I'm built different. Court, any final thoughts?
No, I'm tired.
That's a good final thought. For us, youtube.com/2dads@a-console if you want to see us live so you can see how sick we are. And yeah, just make sure to watch us on 2x speed so you don't get sick. You can also check out some articles that we have on 3dadsconsole.com. You can expect to see some more soon, including some from one of our favorite developers. They have a lot of games coming out soon that you and your families will be enjoying.
That's
so
right.
Stay tuned.
Shout out
some content regarding.
Shout out Bando Namco. Bandai Namco.
Bando Namkai. Shout out. Look forward to Outright Games is what we're trying to get at. Look forward to it. Also, that's all we have. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all those fun things. And yeah, send us some NyQuil.
Okay.
That's all we got.
Okay, bye.
Bye everyone. Don't